Today, in a New York federal courtroom, Shawn Diddy Combs told the judge he was, quote, a little nervous. The rap mogul's criminal trial began this morning. He is trafficking, racketeering, and more.
Today, just to tell the truth, so hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false. Hopefully, due to time, we'll start to see that.
In a tense New York federal courtroom today, Shawn Diddy Combs admitted to the judge that he was a little nervous. The atmosphere crackled with anticipation as he sat stone-faced at the defense table. Dressed in a flawless suit, every detail of his appearance meticulously curated, yet unable to hide the turmoil that surrounded him. This wasn't just another high-profile case. It was a seismic scandal with the potential to topple powerful empires. The charges alone were staggering, but the real shock came when Diddy's former bodyguard, once his closest protector and gatekeeper, took the witness stand and turned against him, pulling back the curtain on a world few had ever glimpsed.
Because we now know who all the prosecutors will be on Diddy's trial. They're all women. They have assembled a team of female prosecutors, and that is definitely not by accident.
Has now been confirmed that the prosecution team in Shawn Diddy Combs' trial will be made up entirely of women, a strategic move that's raising eyebrows and signaling just how calculated this case has become. This isn't just legal theatre, it's a high-stakes battle where every detail, even who's sitting at the prosecution table, carries weight. But the true spectacle came when a key witness took the stand. Not just any witness, but Diddy's former bodyguard. This was the man who had once stood watch behind the velvet ropes, ridden in the bulletproof SUVs, and guarded the doors to Diddy's most private and most notorious world. He had seen it all, and now he was ready to talk. But make no mistake, this wasn't a confession born out of conscience. The bodyguard came with baggage of his own, legal troubles, looming charges, and a clear motive. The prosecution had cut him a deal, offering a path to leniency in exchange for the truth, or at least their version of it. And what he delivered wasn't just testimony. It was a bombshell. His words detonated in the courtroom, carrying the weight of someone who had once lived inside the eye of the storm. He spoke with a mix of hesitation and determination, fully aware of the consequences, yet unwilling to hold back. What he described was a world that sounded more like fiction, a dark, controlled ecosystem, ruled by a man who demanded loyalty and obedience above all else. According to the bodyguard, Diddy wasn't simply a music icon. He was the architect of a secret empire where limits didn't apply, where influence was absolute, and where fear was as common as fame. He painted Diddy as a man obsessed with control, manipulating everyone around him, pulling strings from the shadows, hosting extravagant gatherings that felt more like coded ceremonies than celebrity parties.
The defense wanted to propose a question on, after the potential jurors filled out their questionnaire, have they seen any news media, any documentaries, anything just relating to a news medium, and whether or not they saw it in between them filling out the questionnaire to Monday morning when they saw, or when they go to jury.
Wasn't just the shocking nature of the events the bodyguard described. It was the unsettling level of detail that left the courtroom rattled. He spoke with precision, recalling moments that, at the time, had seemed odd or out of place, but in hindsight felt undeniably sinister. He recounted being ordered to carry out tasks that now read like red flags, retrieving specific items later, used as leverage, standing guard outside closed doors, where disturbing things unfolded, things no one was ever meant to discuss. There were times, he admitted, when he considered walking away, but whether it was fear, intimidation, or the intoxicating pull of Diddy's wealth and influence, if the defense planned to challenge his credibility, They had a mountain to climb. The bodyguard didn't just show up with accusations. He came equipped with vivid, specific recollections that made the jury lean in. He described the interior layouts of Diddy's various properties in painstaking detail, including hidden compartments and strict instructions about which areas were off limits to whom. His testimony painted the portrait of a man who had witnessed more than he could carry in silence. He spoke of moments that shook his sense of right and wrong, things that had haunted him, things he could no longer keep buried. And with every word, he pulled the curtain back a little further on a world built on secrecy, fear, and control.
Which again, the judge kind of made this a point too, talking about, okay, well, if we're going to continue to do sidebars each and every single time that a prospective juror has to talk about a sensitive topic, that could take up a lot of time. But again, the defense and the government both seem pretty confident that they'll still be able to kind of get it going at a quick pace. This isn't unusual to do in these types of high profile cases. So that was pretty much just the topics about, Ghislaine Maxwell.
Bodyguard didn't just mention them. He confirmed their existence. According to his testimony, Diddy had a habit of recording moments never meant for public eyes. These weren't innocent home videos. They were recordings that, if exposed, could devastate reputations, end careers, and, if the prosecution had its way, be the final nail in Diddy's legal. The bodyguard alleged that he had been personally instructed to safeguard these recordings, to store them securely, and keep them out of sight. He claimed he never watched them himself, but he knew what they contained, or at least, he claimed to. It was enough to make the room go still. The defense, unsurprisingly, struck back hard. They painted him as a disgruntled ex-employee with a clear motive